everyone. Oh, hello, Tucker. Thank you so much for joining us, Tucker, and showing us your face. Most often we hear Tucker or hear about Tucker or see a part of his body. Now we get to see the legend himself. Hello to everyone else. Thank you for joining us for Wild Moments, brought to you, of course, by explore.org. And we have none other than Taylor, the other T in the T and T's. Oh, it's triple T this time because Tucker's around. I am having trouble hearing Taylor, but I can see that she's talking a lot.
Because I muted myself. I'm so sorry. I was just saying hello and sorry for Tucker's presence. As you can see, he's hanging his head in shame. He's trying to guilt me, going, it's 4:00 and we have not gone for a walk yet. It's this madness. He doesn't understand how expensive he is. And that I have.
He definitely has a face of, I don't understand, and I know that you have to do your work, but please, priorities, everybody.
Yeah, literally. Like, he's so sad and pathetic.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Instead of 2 hosts, you now have 3. Aren't we all lucky? Remember that we're live and interactive, so you can send through questions and comments, and I've got a ton coming through, which we will get to in a moment. I'd also like to remind everybody who's new to the Africam community to also send in a hello. We'd love to hear from all of you. And this Wild Moments is an opportunity where we go through different clips, sometimes really cool clips that we've seen over the week, sometimes a theme. This week, it's all about the cool clips that we have. And then we discuss the behavior that we see. And I think we're going to see some pretty awesome behavior today, Taylor.
I'm very excited. We've got a sneak peek of what clips are going to be shown. Not actually, we've not seen the clips. We get the titles. And yeah, it looks great. Like, I cannot actually wait for the first clip. I think you're all going to absolutely love it.
Me too. Unfortunately, I didn't start with the usual, which was, how are you doing, Taylor? How are you?
I'm good. Surviving. I can't say thriving. No, maybe a little bit thriving. I shouldn't complain. No, doing well. Very excited, heading on a safari soon to Zambia. So I can't wait to get back into the bush.
Nice. Very, very nice. I'm in the bush myself. Everything is very calm at the moment. If you see an elephant behind me, let me know. That's only the polite thing to do. If you see a nyala behind me, it's all good. Thank you, Taylor. Always looking out for my safety. That's a good guide for you.
Thank you.
Well, before we get stuck into our first clip, let's get stuck into some hellos from our wonderful Africam community and our explore.org community. Zygote, you say hi Trishala and Taylor. Namaste. Namaste to you too, Zygote. Thank you for joining us as usual. Oh, I was beginning to wonder, why do I feel so warm and fuzzy seeing all yours? And then I remembered I hadn't seen you for a while. Dear NC, you say good morning from Seattle with coffee or with chocolate. Thank you, Trish and Taylor, for being here. Thank you, dear NC, for being here. And thank you for making us so jelly of your chocolate and coffee.
I know, right?
Rolling Hi all, and welcome back to Trish. Coffee and water here in Washington State. Nice, Rolling Trouble. I think you might need to chat to DANC. I mean, a bit far, but get yourself a piece of chocolate too. Rolling Trouble. Oh no, that was Rolling Trouble. Kaoru, you say hi, Trishala and Taylor. I have milk again, as usual. We got to make a rule. If you're having something to drink, you should all be having a piece of chocolate. Because Kaoru, I think a piece of chocolate would go excellently with your milk. Mr. H UAE, you say you have Arabian coffee and date cake. That'll do. Oh, Taylor!
I just had it handy, so I thought you mentioned it. Why not? Do you want some?
Okay, go for it. Go for it. Thank you.
Okay. Open wide. Now I'm gonna put it straight in your mouth, Trish. There it goes. Yeah. No, there's the camera. There we go.
Thanks, Taylor.
Like children, really.
We are like children. Thank goodness you all like us. Otherwise, we would, I don't know what we would do with ourselves.
Uh,
Casper's third ghost. You
homeless.
say good Thursday, Trish and Taylor. And everyone else. Hot coffee today. Nice. Zygote, you said, ooh, listen to this. Zygote, I bought bread for pav bhaji and curry for snacks, plain and jeera each one pack. Zygote, you are
Oh,
speaking a love language to me here. I love Indian food. Hmm? Taylor, you too.
I do, and you won't
Oh,
believe it. Like I was a bit lazy to cook today, so I thought maybe we must get curry, but then it's also so hot, so I thought, okay, no, we'll save that for another day because there's a new restaurant that's opened up in Hoedspruit. So I was like, gotta try it.
you have to try it. Just a
Got to.
small side note, Zygote. I'm not sure if you know about the history of South Africa or anything like that, but my ancestors are Indian, even though I'm like fifth generation South African. So my great great grandparents were even born in South Africa, but still of Indian descent. So when it comes to Jira naan or just Jira in general, I can have Jira in anything. Jira is cumin, if you were wondering, everyone else. Andy, you say good afternoon, everyone. Andy, where's your snack?
Mm,
We'd like to know.
where's it?
Um,
Hmm.
Grumpy Old Man says, it's her, Trishala and Taylor. Thank you, Grumpy Old Man. We always love your comments. April Owl, you say, good morning, everyone from sunny and warm Connecticut. Um, oh, Zygote is asking you, Taylor, what's put Tucker's mood off? You did mention.
Yeah, so he basically just does this thing where he sulks and he does the puppy dog eyes and the lowered head and then sort of does a little side look at you. It's just to try and get what he wants, but I'm not manipulated by him anymore. Works with other people.
I have heard that dogs and other pets often mimic their owner's
Hmm.
behavior and body language. Is this the way you sulk as well?
No, I don't sulk sometimes, but like not all the time. It's not often. He's still doing it. He's just lying down now. Stop being a baby dog.
Well, Rolling Trouble says, "Hi, Tucker," all in capitals, so you know she means it. And
Oh yeah, I
Kauru
do.
says, your dog is adorable, Taylor. And Casper's Led Ghost says, hello, Tucker, so cute. And then finally, to wrap up our conversation on snacks, Kauru says, chocolate sounds like a great idea. Go on, grab yourself a piece of chocolate. Actually, don't, Kauru, because we are about to jump into the first clip. Let's head over to Jabalani and see some of my favorite animals having the time of their lives.
Oh, this is the best.
I love this.
When last did you see hyenas having a pool party? Because I haven't seen it in ages.
No, it must have been years. Years, really.
Oh, I love it so much. Uh, I, I love how you can see the pure enjoyment on their faces as they splash around and push and shove one another. It's so great.
Oh, I love this hyena that's just dipping its feet. Oh, just testing the water. You know what I also really like is that they come out of the water, and if they don't roll around, they're very nice and clean, and then they dry and get quite fluffy, which is nice.
Yes, exactly. Oh man, look at them. Oh,
And
come
now,
on, the rest of you get it.
if you can imagine, we know that hyenas scavenge a lot, and they have such what should I call it? It's not as if they seek out rancid carcasses, but they're very good at being able to tolerate a range of decomposition. But they stick their heads into carcasses, so all those bits of flesh and other liquids stick onto their fur. and then they start to get quite disgusting. So having a nice wash
Mm.
like this is not only a social bonding exercise, but also is really good to clean them. Not that that's the motivation, but it certainly helps guides.
Mhm. Absolutely. I feel like of the scavengers, the vultures that actively go and, will, bathe. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, Trish. It's pretty incredible. For those who've seen it, it doesn't happen every single time a vulture eats and, on a carcass, and like I was just describing, gets covered in blood and guts and all the gross things or that make us sort of squirm. But it's amazing. You see these flocks of vultures, maybe near a dam or a river system with a drying up pool, and they'll go in and bathe and then sun themselves afterwards.
I've seen the aftermath of this. I've seen the sunning where I thought, gosh, this vulture is so wet. This couldn't just be from blood. Uh, and they realized it's actually that they've gone and bathed somewhere. But I've seen the aftermath. It is really interesting to kind of connect. And I don't know whether this is a human thing to connect to, but it makes sense that if you're going to be attracting the attention of unwanted individuals in the bush. So it makes sense to want
Oh,
to clean yourself. Oh, hello.
absolutely. Sorry. I've just gone, oh no, it's probably seen the camera moving.
Yes.
And God,
Oh
no,
no, no, don't do that.
don't
Don't
do
do
it.
that.
Leave
Don't
it.
do that. No, no.
No. Naughty. Where's the spray bottle?
There we go. Sound's gone. Sound's gone just
Oh,
like that.
well done.
Whoa,
You did the job. You could be. Oh my goodness.
there you go. And oh,
Hopefully it just go over the wires and just take the trunking. Oh no, Lee. What are you gonna
but
do?
I mean,
Skip the lasso?
pull wires out like that, doesn't that kind of look a little like pulling guts out of an animal?
It did exactly the same motion. Pro-
Yeah. Oh,
Oops, there. Well,
just
it's
like
gone
that.
now.
No, that's
That's so
really
naughty.
interesting. Uh, the power that was in the front section of that hyena's mouth. So in the front section of the mouth, you're getting your incisors and the canines. So it's not even pulling back sections of the jaw where the majority of the power is coming from. This is just the front. If you think about yourself chewing, like you chew with the front of your teeth, it's going to take you a while and effort. But you just got put it in the back by your molars, a lot easier. So just imagine the power. And one more thing.
No, it's
So the drives here. Taylor, do you remember when our earpieces used to cut the vehicle?
yes, I do.
So I love spending time at the hyena den, and there I am busy chatting, and usually we'd get the communications through our ear from our director. So I'm busy chatting, turning around, looking at the camera, but this wire is dangling just a little bit. And you know how the hyena cubs come right up to the vehicle? I was
Mhm.
busy talking to the camera. Suddenly, the sentence, mid sentence, it just stops. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm looking at the connection, looking at my earpiece, and my earpiece is just this short because a little hyena cub bitten through it.
Oh my gosh. If it's not
And
an
not,
earpiece, it's a hubcap, it's a gosh, a light, a mud flap, all sorts.
oh, and it wasn't even chewed. It was just
Oops, snapped straight up.
clean. Clean.
Well, one day, Trish, just to carry on about the strength that they have. Years ago, I was out with the hyena research team in Kenya, and I think I probably told this before, but I cannot get over it. Where they wanted to do DNA testing on the cubs, so instead of going and darting them and taking a blood sample, they'd get a saliva DNA test. So they had a big pipe with a a very soft sort of rope on it, and they would dip that in milk powder formula, and they dangle it out the car at the hyena dens. And like you say, the natural curiosity, the cubs would come over and then they would chew on it, but you had to hold on tight. One, probably either between 6 and 8 month old cub, almost pulled me out of the vehicle. I was so embarrassed because I thought, okay, I'm going to hold on tight. I had no idea how strong they were. At that age, they were much stronger than what my 45 kilogram, so almost 100-pound dog is absolutely. And with him, I can lean back when he's got one side of the rope completely with my full weight, and he doesn't budge. So you can imagine, I almost went straight out the window into the middle of the hyena clan. It was crazy. So that was quite an experience.
Oh my goodness. Also,
Mm.
seems like a strange way to want to collect their DNA. I mean, I suppose
Yeah.
any way that avoids darting, because that brings in a whole host of other uh, medical complications that could or could not occur. But anyway, it increases risk. But I feel like, I suppose collecting poop was also very difficult because you have to just dry it and stuff like that. Very interesting. Sorry, Taylor. I
Yeah.
know that I also feel like I feel pretty strong. I'm not a
Yeah.
flimsy person. I feel
No,
solid.
not at all.
Um,
Yeah.
and then something like that trips you up and you think,
Yep.
"What?
I was so
I'm
I was so embarrassed
strong."
looking at watching all the researchers' faces, and I'm not the world's smallest person, but uh, it was insane, and they were all tiny and petite, and they looked at me as if to say, "Oh, we may have almost made a mistake," and I went, "I'm so sorry," but obviously I held on tighter. Choo, then trying to get it back from the hyenas, where you basically have a bit of a fight. They let go eventually, and then they just cut the rope off into a test tube and then preserve it, and it gets sent to Michigan State University.
Oh, that sounds like an amazing opportunity to be involved in it.
Uh, Very
Mindy, tell up
lucky.
how you say, wow, a hyena pool party. Always love a hyena pool party. I think, yeah, the pulling of the wire definitely got our attention at the end. As you can imagine, the camera at Jabulani is gonna need a little bit of TLC. Kaoru, you say, "Oh, this one was so naughty." Definitely, I think it's the word naughty or mischievous is very synonymous with hyenas. Oh, this is a good one. It's grumpy old man. Watch out for this comment. I've seen hyena auto mechanics, but never an electrician.
Ah.
Oh, a grumpy old man. I've also seen hyena um, aircraft mechanics,
Oh my gosh,
or I've
those are the
heard of
best.
hyena aircraft mechanics. Yes. Okay, one last story before we head on to the next clip. So as Taylor, as Taylor was saying, the hyenas chew lots of things, right? And if you are silly enough to leave your shoes out, they're gonna chew that too. Anyway, so
Of
here we
course.
were at one of these, where different landowners will invite you for a braai or something like that, and
Of
then
course.
we're telling the story of flip being taken by the hyenas and chewed on. And the guys there said, "Oh, we know exactly what you mean. You know when it's crazy what they do," and they really led us to believe that they knew exactly what we meant, as in they left out their flip flops too. No, they say when we fly in our planes, and our planes are there on the airstrip, the hyenas they chew our tires. I thought, oh, we're in different categories, you and I.
That's an that's a bit more expensive than a pair of shoes. Um,
Yes.
one day when we'll be able to say, "Oh no, so sorry we're late. We had to get a replacement for
Yes.
our airplane tire." I can't wait to host an Africam show and be able to say that.
Well, Tucker's going to be more forgiving to you working then.
Absolutely.
Mindy, you say you wonder why they do it. Can't possibly taste good. Um, well, I think there's a few things. I think it's a visual thing. it's sticking out, and hyenas tend to be quite visual. I mean, all their senses are heightened compared to ours, at least. But I think at first it's a visual thing. But if you've ever licked a battery, you would
It
know.
happens. Yeah. Mhm.
You would know that you get a little bit of a, it almost, it tastes sour, or it feels sour. It's zingy.
Yeah.
And it's
Tingly
likely
feeling.
that, yeah, animals feel a similar thing, especially that these wires have current going through them. So initially it was probably visual, and then there was a little bit of a zing, and the rest, the rest is history.
Mm, absolutely.
Shall we move on to the next clip, Taylor?
Let's
Any
do
more
it.
exciting? Oh, we have lots of hyena exciting stories, but I think it's time to move on to the next clip.
Mm.
Let's head over to Onguma in Namibia and have a look at more strength.
Oh, come on. Don't do it. Resist the urge.
I
Oh, he's
always
actually a
like
beautiful.
to figure out he is.
Sorry.
I always like to figure out why. Most often when I see elephants push over a tree, it's because they're trying to get to something, get to leaves, bark, fruit. So I'd be interested to see, because he's not reaching up to go for the leaves.
Not at all. I mean, so many times, I mean, like you say, I've seen more times than not, breaking a tree, feeding on the branches, or hope maybe the roots pop out. But
Mhm.
I have seen on multiple occasions elephants just pushing down trees and then moving off completely. And in fact, once, Trish, I had a very scary elephant encounter. Sadly, yeah, it was not great. And this elephant, he was labeled a problem elephant, and he kept charging
Mhm.
my vehicle. It was terrible back and forth. He got so at one point that he ran, and he literally ran straight at a lead and tried to push it over. Obviously, leadwood tree being particularly hardwood, good deep
Yeah.
root system. It didn't budge. It moved a little bit, but he was never going to push that down out of pure frustration. Um, so I wonder if this is like gym, like a relief. Like that feels good. I had to, I physically exhausted myself trying to figure out how to push this tree down. I don't know if that's anything, and maybe I don't know if they feel good afterwards. Like, oh yeah, that was great. Done.
I
I'm
think
still
that's
strong.
really a really interesting point, Taylor, because it feels good when we ourselves, right? When it feels like
Yeah.
we are at the the end of what we are capable of, whether it's exercising, whatever it is. But imagine for an elephant where so much is just easy when it comes to
Mm.
strength and your body. So maybe it is like exerting yourself, and it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah, I
like a
have no idea,
reminder.
but I'm just yeah. Watched him. He's really taken note as to which is going to be the easiest way to push the tree down. Like he moved around, and now he's gone. Okay, the tree's going to fall that way. So I mean that's amazing that he's taken. Obviously, we know how until he's taken all of that into consideration. Look at the roots lifting up. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness! Wow.
here we go. Taylor, I wonder also a little bit of self enrichment,
Yeah, absolutely.
calculating, figuring out like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And now,
Are you going to move off? You're going to come and eat those delicious leaves.
come on, look how
Even
green
I'm
they
tempted.
are. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. But also, I just laugh. He's obviously done this for convenience to feed on, but the tree wasn't particularly high. I mean, he barely had to stretch. to reach any leaves.
Exactly.
But it just makes me chuckle. He's like, I'm actually going to spend the next hour here feeding on this tree. So my trunk's going to get tired lifting it up all the time. So we'll just push the tree down, spend a couple of minutes.
I mean, yeah, it's the dry season, fewer things to get done. Um,
Yeah, nowhere to go in a hurry.
keep myself busy. Interestingly, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if you came across the study, Taylor. It was with forest elephants, but I
Mm.
suppose it can be, when you think about it, it could be a savanna elephants too, but it hasn't been studied with savanna elephants. It seems that forest elephants often also just down trees, but they tend
Mm.
to push down trees with density wood.
Oh.
And so the 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 study was focusing on carbon sequestration and whether elephants pushing down trees was going to be a negative thing or a positive thing. And it turned out that because they were pushing low density trees down, they were making space for higher density trees to grow because they were also feeding on the fruits of higher density trees, therefore spreading them in their dung. And so this tree pushing behavior would think of, oh, but it's so terrible, it's such a waste. In the grand scheme of things, might actually be quite a good thing.
Oh, that's really interesting. I haven't come across that, but I'm definitely going to look into it. That's amazing.
Yeah. Um, Zygote, you say naughty elephant. There's lots of naughty animals today. Rolling trouble, you say push. And JJ, you would like to know, do elephants push trees down more in Namibia? I wouldn't be able to answer that. I don't know. Um, I don't know, but if I had to just thumb suck or at least think aloud with all of you, I would say that there are fewer trees per square kilometer in Namibia than they are in, say, South Africa, comparison we want to
Mm.
make. And so the pushing of trees would probably be better represented as a percentage. And I don't know. There we go. That was the
Yeah.
extent of my thought process there.
No, I completely agree with you. I, I mean, if we look at Kenya or the Serengeti in Tanzania, but these big open grassland ecosystems where there are still forests around and escarpments that are covered in dense shrubbery, they don't push as many trees down all, but they don't need to because there's so much grazing opportunity for them, all year round. So but you come to South Africa, as we all know, we have a heavy dry season up in the northeastern parts of the country, and they often don't have a choice. Like you say, reaching
Yeah.
for maybe there's flowers popping out on the trees or the new growth, or pushing them over to feed on the roots, which they do a lot of the time, or stripping the bark from trees. So we do see a lot more of it here. Something I've always wondered, I honestly think, and I don't know if there's any science to back this, that surely the lifespan of elephants in South Africa must be, and especially the northeastern parts of the country, must be a lot lower in compared to East African elephants because of the food that they're feeding on. If we just talk about the elephants of the greater Masai Mara Serengeti ecosystem, because their teeth surely aren't wearing down as quickly when you've got softer, more palatable vegetation throughout the year. I don't
Interesting.
know why I thought of.
Interesting. Now I take your hypothesis and I give you one more back. If you know that elephants in East Africa tend to be a little bit larger,
Yes.
particularly tusks, and we know that tusks are
Mm.
modified teeth. So could it be that elephants were generally that size and very big. And in order to compensate for the fewer resources in southern Africa compared to East Africa, they slightly reduced size, slightly reduced um, teeth size and tusk size, because that would conserve energy, or rather make them need to eat less.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually super interesting. It's questions that we'll have to wait and see to find the answers out.
That
I
it
love
is.
it.
I love these things. I love thinking like this, and I love doing it with you, Taylor. I do.
Don't make me cry.
Should should we do one more clip and then we'll say goodbye? Because this is a really interesting one. It's one from our new camera up in Kenya at Lentori, and it's our first sighting of the humble Dik-dik. Oh, look! It looks like it's at a Dik-dik show right here.
Oh, this is so awesome. They are the most amazing little antelope. You don't realize how small they are until you actually see them in person. They're
Yes, I
tiny.
mean I've never seen one, but uh, relatively I've been comparing them to a scrub hare. Like, a Dik-dik is
Mm.
essentially the size of a large scrub hare.
Yeah, they are. It's bizarre. I don't know if you've ever seen. Have you seen pictures of the royal antelope in West Africa?
Yes,
That's
I have.
on my bucket list. They remind me of, are they called mouse deers? I'm just trying to remember, in Sri Lanka, and they are tiny because I think they only stand at about shoulder height, is about a ruler's length. So that is really small. And weigh, what is it? Probably not more than 3 kilograms. So what's that? Just over 6 pounds, if even that. It's crazy. They're so small, but I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to see them. Obviously, very isolated populations.
Yes, yeah. That's also
Oh,
been
but
on my list, Taylor. Royal
and
antelope's just too
and
tiny.
look at its little proboscis as well. It's also such a unique feature
Oh,
for the daycare. Oh, it's so cute how they just constantly and then when you see them on a hot day and they just like, they're doing the nasal panting. Oh, and but with the little proboscis, I mean, we know there's lots of antelope that do the nasal panting, like, the desert dwelling individuals, but it's so, so sweet to see. And then often around like lodges, as I found in the Mara, you'll find like a pair that have become habituated and they spend a lot of time around the lodges and just, being able to sit there and they don't run away. It's mind blowing. They are so cute. I know I'm anthropomorphizing now, but there's no other way to describe just how tiny and small they are. And then they just look strange. And then those big preorbital glands that sit there. I love them.
yes,
They might actually be some of my favorite antelope species.
they are very cute, and the way that the little snout wiggles. Oh,
I know. It's
absolutely
amazing.
adorable. So, to close off the discussion, and I suppose to close off Wild Moments this afternoon, we have decided that this is the Cavendish Dik-dik. Am I correct?
I think so.
Cavendishes.
Yeah. We were actually talking earlier, and I was just saying till the show started, I was like, my goodness, I think I've been calling the Dik-diks of Kenya in areas that I travel the wrong thing. Instead of it, calling them Kirk's Dik-dik, when in fact they are the Cavendish Dik-dik. So I didn't quite realize. My bad. They all look the same.
But at one point, the Kirk's Dik-dik had several subspecies, including the Cavendish. Now they have been elevated to species level themselves. So we will forgive you, Taylor.
Thank you.
We will
I'm
forgive
always
you.
making mistakes. It's terrible.
It's okay. All right, everyone. That was Wild Moments for this afternoon. I will. Phew, I won't see you for about another week, but then hopefully we will be back up in action, and I'll leave you in the capable hands of Taylor, hopefully. But until then, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Taylor, and of course, thank you, Tucker. Go off, take him for a walk now so he doesn't have to sulk, and make us all happy.
Absolutely.
All
Thanks,
right,
everyone.
bye, everyone.